Our top story of the day, of course, we're talking about President Joe Biden and that bombshell report from special counsel Hur that, first of all, of course, cleared Biden from any charges for his classified document handling, but of course, questioned his mental acuity. And that's what we're going to talk about now with medical doctor and psychiatrist, Dr. Yalda Safai. Dr. Safai, great to have you with us in studio here today. And I think the big question on everyone's mind is Joe Biden mentally fit to serve as president?
Yes, I know this is a pressing question. Like every day, I feel like the questions and confusion with the public gets worse on this topic. So without really commenting on his mental fitness, because, I haven't evaluated him myself, I haven't ran tests, so I can't, make a diagnosis or anything. But I want you to keep in mind that the biggest risk factor for the development of any sort of dementia or neurocognitive disorders are age. So that's the number one risk factor, and that risk really doubles every 5 years in age, starting the age of 65. So when it comes to electing a president, I know Trump is not that far off in age from Biden, right? When it comes to electing an older president, that's a risk that the population needs to be willing to take. Honestly, I personally think that the best age to run for presidency is to be a president is in the 50s and maybe the 60s, because starting at age 65, that's where you, like I said, the risk doubles every 5 years. Wow. So the two are front runners right now are 81 and 77. So.
Well, let's talk about this, though. The fact Biden is calling up names from the past. Francois Mitterrand, the old president of France, from 25 years ago. Does that signal anything to you?
I mean, there's a variety of reasons. That day he could have been having a bad memory day. He could have been confused. I mean, there's a wide range of reasons that could happen, right? Certain medications definitely cause problems with memory, mental acuity, fogginess. Even benign medications that you don't think about, like an antihistamine you take for allergies, can actually cause cognitive impairment, or sleep medications. Or there's organic causes why somebody would present as foggy or confused. They could be battling an infection. They could be, there's a wide range of reasons. So if this is a trend, if every time, he says the wrong name or something, you would want to be on alert. But everybody has days where they're kind of off mentally.
Right. Everybody makes mistakes. But I think what a lot of people, Americans, are worried about is that we see President Joe Biden making these sorts of, I will say, we call them gaffes or literal missteps. He's having trouble even like walking or climbing. I mean, there are certain things, and again, I know you can't evaluate the president himself. He's not, you haven't examined him. But generally, what are some of the warning signs that people can look for, not necessarily the president, but in general, for early onset or just dementia or Alzheimer's? What are the types of things that you tell families to look for?
Yes, 100%. So the number one thing is lapse in memories. And this, usually it's semantic memory, meaning the memory of places, faces, people, is the first thing usually to go with something like dementia. Confusion overall, and especially at nighttime, is one of the other things. And aside from the memory problems, there's mood problems also. You see irritability, changes in personality, depression, moodiness, anxiety, sometimes trouble walking, difficulty with gait. These are all warning signs that there's something going on. Now, Alzheimer's, for example, is only one type of dementia. There's a wide range of things that he could be suffering from.
You got about 30 seconds here, but I want to ask you, do you see any difference between the way former President Trump delivers his speeches and President Biden?
Of course, and they're 4 years off in age, and like I said, every 5 years the risk of some sort of dementia doubles. So even if that 4-year gap might be significant enough to put him in that danger zone.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Dr. Yalda Safai, thank you so much for your expertise. Appreciate it.
Thank you.